surprisingly, the heavy rollers and going over to McCall saying, what are they going to say to him?
He's burst into tears. I mean, look at his face. It's as though he's disappointed himself in everybody else. It's like the opposite. It's as though he's lost his control here. His corner trying to talk him through it.
As we come out for this next round, he was this.
I hope that's the case here.
It's unbelievable. Oh, that will stop him laughing about that one again. He's actually
not even looking at the punches coming there. But Lewis, don't run into anything. Lewis is going to stop.
In one of boxing's most surreal moments, one of the beasts of the ring, Oliver the Atomic Bull McCall, in round 5 in his rematch with Lennox the Lion Lewis, started to unexpectedly pace around the ropes, then continued to have an emotional breakdown in the ring.
Of McCall's career and Lewis's reach, a 2-inch advantage there. Larry?
February 7, 1997, the WBC Heavyweight Championship. Lewis, who was the #1 ranked heavyweight, McCall, the #2 ranked heavyweight. 2.5 years prior, Lewis and McCall had their first bout. Before Oliver McCall, the #1 contender at the time, challenged Lewis, the unbeaten WBC heavyweight champion. Lewis had successfully defended his bout 3 times.
Who's in the black trunks with the gold trim down the side. His ex-taller has a considerable reach advantage, but McCall has been in, was to defeat Gary Mason. Of Lewis, then those predictions will be completely correct.
Lewis was sent to the ground by McCall's short right hand after a competitive opening round.
Lewis unbeaten, remember, after 25 fights. Oh, he's got him! Oh, Lewis walked into a right, and that was the sucker punch that they worried about. And the referee has decided it's all over. My goodness, what enough.
Referee Jose Guadalupe Garcia stopped the fight after determining Lewis could not continue and gave McCall the win through technical knockout in the 2nd round.
Less than a minute of the 2nd round gone. The crowd can't believe it. It was a
Lewis referred to McCall's victory as lucky and made a $10 million rematch offer, but McCall declined the deal because he felt Lewis had disrespected him with his post-fight remarks.
I just got caught with a lucky shot, and the referee seemed to help him along really good. Yeah? Oliver McCall ain't that good. He's not that good, so don't let him. The referee couldn't even speak English. When you nod your head, that means yes, you're okay.
Did McCall show you anything that you hadn't seen or weren't expecting?
No, not really.
Are we going to see you again, Lennox?
Yes, I may be down, but I'm not out.
However, prior to the official announcement of their 2nd bout, after both fighters embarked on their own individual contests, McCall was arrested on charges of vandalism, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest, and was subsequently sent back to rehab in hopes that he would kick his heroin addiction. Although Lewis, his manager Frank Maloney, and promoter Dino Duva expressed concern over McCall's antics, McCall's promoter Don King insisted that McCall would be ready by the time of the fight.
By the look of them, they're not playing well. I told you it'd be different. I expected him to simply before. This is a new one.
Executive Director Mark Ratner. Position.
Must interrupt. But this fella's a judge in Reno, this referee. In Nevada. Mark Ratner was telling me person for tossing the caber.
With his powerful left jab and sporadic right hands, Lewis was able to dominate the first 3 rounds. McCall, on the other hand, didn't do anything offensively and only landed 26 total blows during the entire bout.
Shoving the forearm in his face.
Oh, that uppercut there, that reminded me. We're right on the ring apron, Jim Watt now. Here
He's punching up to this point in the 2nd round. Better than Lewis's. Yeah, Lewis got some good punches off himself. I just felt that McCall.
I tell you what, this fellow.
I really feel this fight could go all the way. If not all the way, it'll be a long fight. So Lewis wants his men.
To use a boxing term, he's a bit of a governor at the moment.
Well, Reg, that's what I'd like to see. Real good performance. Took a punch but come back with one, Reg. That's all right.
He's swayed his leg. As if to say, I'm just ignoring this fella.
I think he's trying to draw mistakes, a character at times, but he's probably...
Wrong corner, mate, go the other way. He's dismissing it, isn't he? It's just, I mean, there's no way that's going to make Lewis nervous. Then puts Lewis a round up.
As he walked up to him and started to circle the ring, Lewis made repeated attempts to get McCall to start fighting. But McCall resisted and spent the entire round wandering around the ring and merely ducking under Lewis's approach without throwing a single punch.
He's trying to step forward. I don't know if he's going to change his mind. But no, we expect Lewis is still fairly careful here.
McCall once more resisted going back to his corner after the round ended and kept moving around the ring.
Going over to McCall saying, what are they going to say to him? And he's walking all the way.
He burst into tears. I mean, look at his face. This is the opposite. It's as though he's lost interest. I don't know what's going on.
As the fifth round got underway, McCall persisted in not responding to Lewis's powerful strikes. Referee Lane intervened between the two combatants and halted the bout, granting Lewis the victory through technical knockout.
Lewis is going to stop it. Or he stops it because he's not taking part, and that has to be a disqualification. This could affect everything,
Jim,
but his victory's been tarnished.
I think he's disqualified him, you know.
Has to be a disqualification, definitely. No, actually, he didn't quit, Reg. Just the referee decided to get him out of there. He didn't even quit.
The next day, McCall made an effort to justify his odd behavior during a news conference when he rationalized his sobbing by stating he had intended to get himself into an emotional condition, and that his refusal to interact with Lewis was akin to the rope-a-dope strategy introduced by the legendary Muhammad Ali. Nevertheless, McCall's $3 million purse was withheld and he was temporarily suspended by the Nevada Athletic Commission. By early April, he had been diagnosed with a mental illness and was admitted to a Virginia psychiatric facility. When McCall was pronounced fit enough to resume boxing in September 1997, his suspension was removed. He was able to get his bag at last, although with a $250,000 fine.
But this is the fact.
McCall would go on to fight 38 more times, amassing a record of 74 fights, 58 wins. McCall also retired along with Vitaly Klitschko and Nikolai Valuev as the only fighters in the heavyweight division to never be knocked down in a fight in boxing history. Lennox Lewis would go down as one of the greatest heavyweight boxers the world has ever seen and one of the most iconic sportsmen in history. However, in the legendary bout between Lennox Lewis and Oliver the Atomic Bull McCall, this night would go down in boxing lore as one of the most surreal moments the ring has ever seen.
No, actually, he didn't quit, Reg. Just the referee decided to get him out of there. He didn't even quit.